Well, you have a tale of two cities. No, we got a tale of two goaltenders here. You got a likely Vezina winner on the right in Connor Hellebuyck, and not going to win the Vezina trophy on the left in Alexander Georgiev. So this series, like Chris mentioned earlier when we were going through the West playoff scenarios, this is a top-heavy Avalanche team versus a we'll say deep and well put together, well-rounded Jets team. The blue line for Colorado definitely better than Winnipeg's, but the goaltending doesn't even come close. Hellebuyck definitely the advantage over Georgiev. The Avs are, just not playing good hockey down the stretch here. They blew a 3-0 third period lead to Vegas. They may have to play Edmonton. They're going to play Edmonton to wrap up the season. Maybe that's a little bit of a warm-up there. Meanwhile, you got the Jets on the flip side have won 6 in a row heading into tonight's game against Seattle. Just two teams coming in different directions. Maybe if you want to maybe look on the positive or try and spin it positively for Colorado, maybe they're getting the junk out before the playoffs. They're getting all the bad stuff out before the playoffs, and they'll get that right because they are a team that's been down this road before. They are experienced. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think the play over the last week is indicative of how the series is going to start with Winnipeg. And I think this one's a little bit closer than some people are giving Colorado credit for. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Winnipeg, Colorado.
There's no question that the Colorado Avalanche are a good team. Yes, they are a good team on home ice. On the road here, they are 19, 16, and 6. Very respectable-ish, right? Those are not Stanley Cup winning numbers on the road, though. Here's the part that kind of gets me. They are scoring goals for 3.17 goals per game on the road, which is fine. It's not terrible, okay? At home, though, this team at home, they are scoring 4.18. That is a full goal more at home. They finished they're at right now 39-1 on home ice. They are elite at home, and that is expected. It is tough to go into Colorado and win games, not just because of the altitude, but because they are a good hockey team on home ice. But the gap is so wide, right? And in order for you to be a good team and actually win a Stanley Cup, they've been there, they've done it, so they know how to do it. But you got to go on the road and win hockey games. And now they got to go up against the Jets, who are the best team when it comes to goals against on the road. I know these are all regular season numbers, but those numbers still have context and they have meaning. So unless the Jets completely fall apart, Connor Hellebuyck is the elite goalie in this series. And now, it's going to be tough for him to go into Colorado, and maybe he has to steal a game. But is it more likely that Hellebuyck goes and steals a game, which the Jets don't even need on the road, or Alexander Georgiev going on the road and stealing a game, which they need in order to win this series? I know what side I'm going on. I trust Connor Hellebuyck a lot more. I'm not saying he can't get lit up. The Jets still have to play well, but man, even if the Jets lose all 3 games in Colorado, it doesn't matter. They have the home ice advantage, and I think in this series, it makes a difference.
Expecting some whiteouts in Winnipeg, despite the ticket prices?
I mean, I'm assuming people are who knows? Winnipeg probably is going to get snow next week just because it's Winnipeg, right? There might be more white outside the arena than inside of it. But I'm hoping Jets fans show up to it. That's a good series. You should want to be there no matter what.
Yeah, do we worry about Colorado?
You don't even need 2 to live. Sell a kidney. What are we doing, Winnipeg?
Do we worry about Colorado fans infiltrating the building on the road there? I mean, Denver to Winnipeg isn't that far of a flight.
Try to convince somebody to go to Winnipeg.
Yeah, that's
I'm not. Look, Winnipeg. It is what it is, but
it's like convincing somebody to go to Columbus. I get it.
Exactly. I've been to Columbus. Don't. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, as we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks, all the different scenarios for the playoffs and all the different series we could possibly see, the West was the strongest to me to put together some good series. This is one of them. I could see this going 7. Winnipeg, has 2 good goaltenders. Obviously Hellebuyck's going to get the starts for all the games, but Brousseau's not bad himself, and both of them are better save percentages than what Colorado has in net. But what Winnipeg is going to have to watch out for is definitely McKinnon, Rantanen, if they could shut those two down, because 138 points, 103 points between those two. And you got Cale Makar also with 89 points, way better than what the Winnipeg has on their offense. So I'm looking for this to be a really good series. If they can shut those three down, if Winnipeg can shut those three down, that we're going to have ourselves a really solid series. And I'm going to go on the Winnipeg train. I've been on it since the beginning of the season, since they re-signed Hellebuyck. And I think that this team is ready to take the next step. And look how far they come from last year at this time, where they had lost, 4-1 to Las Vegas, and it looked like they were ready to sell and rebuild. And now we're looking at a team that's probably contending for a Stanley Cup championship.
A team that would also give Dallas fits in the second round if they got there. So
Oh, yeah.
now, if you're a Colorado fan thinking, like maybe Landeskog could be back at some point, well, he's still not close to being a participant in practice, according to Coach Jared Bednar. So they're saying he could be back around the playoffs, but I mean, he's going to have to skate for a little bit first. He's going to have to get, so I don't know if it changes in the next couple of weeks, or if, they beat Winnipeg, maybe next round is more of a consideration for Landeskog. So we got both going for Winnipeg here. I'm going to flip the Alexander Georgiev argument the other way. If Georgiev plays well, that's a real problem for Winnipeg, because that's the one X factor they really have. So, I there's just too much with Colorado. There's too much there. I know they're a top-heavy team. Winnipeg is deep. Winnipeg can roll four lines. They've got the goaltending. They've got while Colorado may have the better blue line on paper, when it comes to playoff style hockey, Winnipeg has a blue line that's very good for what you need in the playoffs. It's really tough for me to go against Colorado. I mean, right now I think we're judging the Avalanche at their worst, and this is not I think they will bounce back and be playing better hockey here. So again, I think this is a long series. I think this is one we're looking at 7 games, but I got to lean towards Colorado here. It's not a knock against Winnipeg. I just think that they're going to buckle down, and sometimes those teams that have been through the long roads in the playoffs before and have faced adversity before, they know when the chips are down what to do. Colorado knows they're limping down the stretch here. They're going to have to play one more game against Edmonton later in the week. So there'll be a little bit of a tune-up there, especially if Edmonton needs that game for a potential division. I think Colorado will bounce back, and it'll be more of an even series than what we're handicapping right now.
2 points here. One, Alexander Georgiev finished this year with the most wins in the NHL. He had 38. He finished with a 3.02 goals against average, 897 save percentage, which is save percentage now worse than when it was at the All-Star game, which was 0.899. Number 2 behind him in wins, Connor Hellebuyck with 36 wins, a 922 save percentage, 238 goals against average, 5 shutouts. He allowed 44 goals less than Alexander Georgiev, and he saw exactly 5 shots more in 3 fewer games. So, I mean, when's Alexander Georgiev waiting to be good? I don't know when he's waiting for it. It's hard to put stock into him at this point, especially on the road. He has not been good. He is a disaster. And I know Colorado has won a Stanley Cup with a goalie that was,
Darcy Kemper.
Which was Darcy Kemper. He was not
even
good.
playing for the Capitals, and they choose to go Lindgren back to back over playing. I mean, even the Red Wings are going with a Reimer-Leon split between the 2 nights.
That's how much the Capitals trust Darcy Kemper here. And even in that series, even in that Stanley Cup run, like Pavel Francouz came in and was really good in the games that he played. So, I mean, I don't even know if Georgiev finishes the series. His leash has got to be shorter than the one that I got from Milo to make sure that he doesn't get too far off from me. Gorgiev's leash here, 2 inches at best. If Winnipeg gets out to a 2-3-0 lead or something early in a game or something, and Georgiev doesn't play well, and then Anton comes in and he's decent, Colorado has a comeback or something, or at least makes the game close, I don't know if we see Georgiev again.
And Justice Anunin would be the starter at that point. I mean, they have not. The Jets haven't seen him this year. The one time they did not play Georgiev, they played Prosvetov. Prosvetov is how you say it, however you say it. But that was the one goalie they saw. So I mean, that would, there is the advantage of the unknown there. That you can go to that. But I listen, on paper, Winnipeg makes sense. I just think I think we're judging Colorado at their worst, and I think that they're going to be fine come this weekend.